Hello, it's CJ Miller, and let's see. I'm in Shreveport, Louisiana, and across the Red River from beautiful Bossier City, Louisiana. Had to come out and take a walk. So this I-20 is behind me, Interstate 20. They're doing work on it, so it's not as busy as it would be. Uh, so that work is going to be going on for probably about another year and a half. Uh, and then this behind me is I don't know what this bridge is called, but it's our train that runs through downtown. It's a freight train. Passengers don't ride on it. But, uh, sure is quiet, beautiful down here. And then, uh, well, I'm gonna get to the other side of this, the other end of this, as I walk. But yeah, I'm so happy. Today we had a break in the weather, which was raining most of the week, and then the week before that we had earlier on there was a an ice, wintry thing that, yeah, you guys got caught up in it too. Uh, the and so yeah, there's videos of it, but it one day for us it's like shut us down for a couple of days because we're not equipped with like driving on ice. People are, yeah, so they pretty much, shut things down, all except for the most essential stuff when it's icy weather. But it wasn't really, we didn't really get the snow. We got the sleet and the rain, some snow, maybe mixed in with it. It was kind of a little bit, but it was, instantly it didn't, it really was ice. And then, yeah, so that's cool. Uh, I love the moon. That's the moon. I'm going to grab it. Okay, so, oh, this is interesting. Actually, this is interesting too. I love coming out, checking this stuff out. I love to see stuff. I want to be able to see some other places in some other cities. I do want to invite you to come check us out in Shreveport, Louisiana. So long live the Brotherhood. And I used to know what this was, and actually I'm wearing dark glasses now. So, oh, it's a couple of soldiers. Lieutenant Commander Jonas B. Kelsaw and Senior Chief Special Warfare Operator. Uh, you know, uh, it's a list of names, right? No way. Okay, no, he's just got a lot of names. Okay. Anyway, but this is great. He comes down here and sit and everything. But okay, this is interesting too. I think I've shown this. Well, I know I have shown this several times. I'd love to walk downtown. Uh, at this point, it's like, hey, let's not worry about the walk because we've seen all this. What's he gonna say? uh, this is. Can y'all see that? Am I not even pointing it right? I don't know. It's a plaque. Anyway, screw it. Safe Harbor, created by D.D. Morrison. So this is a giant anchor for a large ship. That's what it's supposed to be. And this LED inside, and these two columns here are. I don't know if it's restrooms or not, but they are. I'm going to walk up there and look. I know they got some maintenance rooms with equipment and stuff. So, but I don't really think people like me are supposed to be coming up here. No, it's a restroom. It's just locked. Yeah. Oh, hate to think what would happen all night long down here if it wasn't. Do you know if you're in a restroom, say one of the casino restrooms or something like that, and your jam comes on the radio that they're piping in, and you really are vibing on it, you're really enjoying it. Do not tap your feet when you're in the stall. uh, don't tap your feet in time with the music because you're really vibing when you're in a public restroom. And especially if you're a guy in the men's room. Just don't. Trust me. Okay, so uh, LED lights. Everywhere, LED. I'm from a distance with it all. It all looks beautiful. I normally do a lot of walking up real close, and I am going to. Uh, and stand and pose in front of it and everything like that. But you know, uh, it's inspiring to take it from a distance and walk on it. Now this is where they do a lot of Christmas displays. Pretty soon in the summer, I think. Let's see. Yeah, right on the other this row of benches right here. Uh, there are two triangles. I don't know why triangles, but they're in juxtaposed positions, and it's a sprinkler park. And it hasn't been functioning for quite some time. It was for a couple of summers, and then there was a big, huge, massive flooding, and it damaged the mechanism. The motor that ran it got flooded out, and of course uh, they haven't agreed upon a budget to go in and correct it. Well, this fountain here was also not working for a time, but of course now it is again. So, and I think there's people and they're coming out philanthropically to invest, and then they're maybe in the summer they're going to have that sprinkler park uh, back up and going, which is cool, because we have families that live downtown, even though it's business. There are families that live downtown. They don't all have access to a pool. So it would be nice for them to come down and splash around. It would be nice for kids that come down here with their families to see the Sci-Port. It would be nice for them to be able to go across the street with their family, splash around and catch a little relief. Maybe a good way to wrap up your day. And then, I don't know. I think I love what's going on down here because there is no reason why it cannot be completely beautiful and still be family friendly, you know. Even though there are casinos, uh, there are families that live down here. So, yeah. Okay, so, uh, I'm gonna walk over, take a closer look at the bridge, and yeah. A lot of times, like if I'm walking around, if I'm gonna cross the street or something, if I'm making a video, I'm gonna pause the video if I'm crossing the street because I'm even faster than I'm doing now. Maybe I would move at sort of a wog, the walking jog thing where that doesn't look good on camera. I'm not talking and whatever. So while I'm waiting and running across traffic, dodging cars, usually jaywalking, like, oh shit, oh, no, moving around, trying to weave through the cars and not get hit because whatever. I'm a pedestrian. I just can't help but jaywalk. Can't help myself. So anyway, it's some of you will get it. Um, but if I'm doing that, then I'll pause the video. uh, it does not look attractive, and it would not look attractive if I were like splattered all over the road because I didn't cross at a light. I actually mostly wait for the light to turn, and only in the areas where there's no traffic would I just go ahead and disobey the light and walk. So, but that's late at night, and I know there's no traffic on that intersection. Most of the time, I'm good. Obey the crosswalks, kids. Okay, so there was some musicians playing down here. I think there's a lull in that. Louisiana is full of music. Doesn't matter. North, middle, south. Louisiana is very culturally rich, especially with music. So I'm so happy that the weather was such that I could get out this evening because this is for my health, these walks, right? Uh, yeah. I was maybe going to go in and grab a burger at one of the uh, cafes that are in the casino or something like that. But it was like, I remembered I've got that hamburger casserole and I can just have some of that because it is very delicious. And, a typical serving of potato does not destroy uh, what you do with a keto diet. Um, yes, it can reduce your ketosis or take you out of ketosis if you're in ketosis, but it won't like ruin your it won't ruin your progress. Uh, and there were about 6 russet potatoes in the recipe that I made uh, last night slash yesterday morning. So uh, most of what was in that boiler in that pot, uh, yeah, it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. I can eat that whole thing uh, as long as I do it in about 6 servings, spaced out, and or even more really, because yeah, I'd say if I could serve probably about 12 people out of that food that I made at one given time. If I were gonna serve them maybe like a side salad and a roll or something like that on the side of it, you know. And anyway, yeah, I need to maybe think about doing a looking up and finding out how many calories are in how many ounces of russet potatoes typically, for the heck of it. Okay, so I guess the rest of this is just going to be me. Oh, I know. I'll talk about this bridge. Okay, so the Long Island Bridge, it's also known as the Texas Street Bridge. I guess probably in 1993, they lit it up with not LED lights, neon lights. They had a big thing. It had artists come down, everything like that, and they decorated it. And there were, I want to say there were 60 couples. I want to say 60 couples getting married on the bridge in a group ceremony. The mayor of both cities were there, and I think it's a person's prerogative to kind of jeer and not really like their president. There was Hazelbeard and Steve Dement at Bossier, and Hazelbeard was the mayor here. And then there was, everybody. It was a big fanfare. It was fun. But they went to turn the thing on. Like, they went to, like, turn it, like, and all we heard was, and then nothing. Oh, my God. Didn't work. Seemed like it wasn't going to work, for sure. How do you keep a bridge full of people in suspense, right? And but anyway, it took a few minutes. Somebody plugged in something or charged something or cranked something or something like that, and then they turned it back on. Or maybe the whole thing was just to kind of give that. Maybe it was planned. Hey, no, no, no. But anyway, I remember I was in attendance, but the lights did come on. And when they came on and they were lit, there was a newness of it, and it was ooh and ah and everything. But then after that, it was kind of the elephant in a room that nobody really wanted to talk. The display was not, it made no sense. It was not an attractive display. I'm so sorry for the people that designed it or whatever. It's like, people were like, no, it's supposed to look like you're going down a cow's throat. Who wants to look like they're food for a cow or something? Or, I don't know. There were people, everything. People were just, it was so abstract that people really just didn't get it. That's because there was nothing to get. There was no thought behind it. It was not. It just looked like people just look. Let's come up here and we see this, and let's just find an attachment here and this right here and this, whatever. And then slowly, the neon lights started to go out where there wasn't a provision to keep the bridge in repair for those lights. So, in maybe 10 or 12 years later, the last of the neon light went out. It was the night the lights went out in Shreveport. Lord. Anyway, a few years ago, they were doing some repair on the Long Island Bridge, the Texas Street Bridge, and there was a Dr. Bukowski, and I'm glad for him. And they and his wife and everything, they're philanthropic, and they kind of started a foundation, and made use of grants for, you know, community renewal, that kind of stuff. Nothing. It's not. It wasn't. It's not locally paid for by the city government of either city at all at this point. The lighting part, there was a lot of criticism about that. Hey, why are you spending money on lights on a bridge when there are other things? But no, no, this is entirely privately funded, not funded by either government, and everything. So, um, and I like it. The LEDs, of course, they're programmable. This is not the only LED lit bridge in the country or the world. It's certainly not the first, but I think ours is done very well, and really works with the surrounding, the neon and everything. There's actually a mirrored building. I think it's hard for me to tell at this ground level, but I think the Raymond James building is mirrored glass. It's a mirrored glass building. It's reflective. And so as I'm coming into downtown, just past the Interstate 20, coming into Spring Street and Market Street, that little area, the overpass right here, just and I'm seeing the reflection of the bridge off that building. It is so awesome and so wonderful. So yeah, well, I'm coming to a street that I'm going to cross. So I'm going to pause the video and I will pick this up when I get to the other side of the bridge. Aha, so, it is great. There were events going on apparently. There's a restaurant attached to the aquarium in the back where they were playing the music earlier. I didn't, they had kind of shut it down by the time I got over there, but they're really great. Then there was something going on at the Riverview Theater across the street from that, which is kind of cool. They sometimes do operas there, which I love, a good opera. If I know I'm going to go to one, if I get opera tickets or something and I'm going to attend the opera, what it'll do is it will promote me to actually read up on the opera, so I'll know that much more about it, be it Russian or Italian or whatever. Operettas tend to be smaller in scale and a little bit lighter in mood, but musically they can be just as talented. I'm all about some Gilbert and Sullivan, bro. I've actually sung with the Gilbert and Sullivan group. There's a Gilbert and Sullivan Preservation Society around here that puts on shows in the summer, and I've done that sometimes. Gone out and sung. It's been a while, but like actual do a play or whatever. I don't really do too much stage work anymore. I really don't. I'm like, usually it wasn't like, most of the time, that kind of stuff. It was okay, let's go be in a play. You don't really get paid for it or anything like that, but somebody's making money for it. But yeah. But for a while in my mid-20s, I got involved with a group called the Wandering Minstrel Players, and we actually did make money at, well, not much. We were able to keep the bills paid. Most of the money went right back into the next production. We actually didn't get paid, but I was part of it, and I saw where the money went. And it was like at one point, a group of us moved into the house that was adjacent to the theater space that we were using. It's just, we were in south of town, almost in the next city. Not city, almost in the next town. See, there's no traffic here, so I'm not really going to worry about it. I'll just walk. Yeah. Like if I were down there in the middle of the intersection, I would have no compunction. I would jaywalk. Coming up here to this intersection, I'm not going to. But I'm not like, I can't help myself from jaywalking. So anyway, but yeah, the Wandering Minstrel Players and the Wandering Minstrel Theater, it was almost out in Keithville, Stonewall. It's still part of our community, but it's in there. Two adjacent towns that are south of us, so in DeSoto Parish, and this was almost that far out, you know. So it was hard to attract people to come out there to see a show. Had we gotten a liquor license, eh, I think that's what. Yeah, I think that's where we went wrong. But maybe we should have encouraged people to bring their own booze. Anyway, we could have sold the mixers, but then you have to get a food license. I don't know. There's so much stuff we didn't know about back then, or that I didn't know about, uh, because I actually didn't get into service industry work until after that period in my life. Then I got to, okay, well, this has to be up to code, and this has to be, and your people have to, have ABO cards, and your people have to have vendor's license and have to undergo training on food. And it's like, really? Shouldn't the people in the kitchen know how to prepare the food? Isn't my job just to bring the food to the table? But no, turns out there's more than that. Okay, I'm gonna pause the video. Aha, so behind me is a local psychic proficient in palm reading, tarot readings, and I guess that's about it. Just generic psychic readings. I mean, I have a strong sense of belief in spirituality and even things of that nature, but I don't think when you're really truly of that, I don't think that you make it your vocation. You know, you certainly, yeah. For one thing, you have to make the declaration, hey, I am not a professional licensed counselor, but it's a bona fide religion. And I wonder, I wonder if you have a counselor that comes in from your fundamental Baptist church to counsel with the family over an issue, must they also be otherwise licensed or credentialed? Can they be subject to malpractice? That kind of stuff. But anyway, I just weird things that I think about. Okay, so I'm coming up on what I really wanted to talk about, or something that I really wanted to talk about. Hang on. All right. Okay, so I'm about. Yeah, I think I can get there. So, no, this isn't. I want to actually go on the next block. I want to talk about the library that's downtown. Yeah, so when I come down here, I trudge, walking around, walk with a purpose. My purpose is to get to the end of this block and talk about the library. When I was a little kid, I used to call it library, not library, but whatever. I used to call it February instead of February. It's spelled, I don't know. It's weird, the spelling of it. But words are spelled weird. I blame the French. Oh, I am Louisiana Creole French, Cajun French. So, it's like, and some other French. Louisiana's just got French influence from all over the place. Some direct from France and some through the Arcadias or whatever, but it kind of converges. So this building here, it's a beautiful building. I love this architecture. I want to say that it's Roman influence with the archways and everything, but isn't everything like influencing of one another? I hope they'll get it open pretty soon. There was some flooding on the 4th floor. That was where they kept all the most important records, and people really weren't allowed to go there without, like, precious documents. So they had to be supervised if they were going to go up there with someone who would watch them and stuff. Uh, Available for public view through November 9th. I don't know what all that means. But anyway, yeah, there a lot of work to do inside of there. I hope they get it done soon. Um, I love to read. I order books. I love that. I'm kind of a bibliophile, but I love books anyway. I love to read, and that's kind of cool. But I also love movies, and so going down to rent a Blu-ray certainly saves money on buying Blu-ray. But yeah, and some of the stuff that you could get uh, is no longer available on DVD. As things become less and less marketable, or things become more streaming available and stuff, that you actually whatever. If you had to, I don't know, the best place for browsing for classic media, be it book, be it music or whatever. If it's not a classic collector, it's at a public library. Library. Where did I learn how to talk anyway? Um, okay, so I love you guys. Um, and I'm going to say right now, as I'm passing through, peace, love, and light. I love you. Good night.